Hello everybody, I hope you're doing great today. I appreciate those of you who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. Also appreciate those of you who have subscribed. Thank you very much. And today we're talking about Temple of Doom, starring the great Doom. Temple of Doom, not Dune, Doom, starring Harrison Ford. This movie kind of has like a split personality, to be honest. It doesn't know if it wants to be for the whole family or if it wants to be for adults. So it starts off with a good old musical number, right? From Kate Capshaw here. She's the worst part of the movie. Her character is the terrible character. I think when people talk about the old movies and how the women in these old adventure action movies are always the damsels in distress, I think they think of her character because all she does is scream, indie, 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 all the way through. So it's like the worst part of the movie. Back onto the split personality, okay? So this review is going to be like the movie, or just so you know. So she has a split. So the movie does have a split personality. It starts off with the musical. It's all nice and stuff. And then you get somebody getting shot in the guts. And then later on, the movie evolves to something darker. You know, you got a guy actually ripping a heart out of Indiana Jones. And then you have like the snake scene, like the food table scene, which is probably seen here behind me. Where, you know, you got all those gross foods. You know, in every Indiana Jones, there always has to be some grossness, you know, some critters or something. So you have twice the fun in Temple of Doom. Not only you got the bugs, they're eating bugs and snake and stuff like that, but also when they're getting ready to go into that little trap, you got all those critters, bugs there on the floor, which is like, ooh, you know, I wouldn't want to step on those things either. You can hear them crunching beneath the people's feet. And so you get that kind of comic, and you got Round Shot, which was played by, I probably would not be able to pronounce his name, K. New Kwan. Probably screwed it up. Sorry out there, buddy, if you're watching this. But you got Round Shot here. And he's probably the best part of the movie, you know. He really brings the heart of the movie. He's like Indy's #1 guy. Great sidekick, you know. Every scene he's in, he's kind of like a scene stealer. He brings the heart of the movie, part to Indiana Jones. He's the one that brings Indiana Jones back from the psychotic mess that he was in because of the brainwashing they did to him when he had to drink the blood poison that kind of hypnotized him into put him in another world where he's kind of just a mindless zombie like hitchman. We got a good old friend Round Shot. Fantastic job. Wish he was in other Indiana Jones movies. Is he in the 5th one? I've never seen the very last one yet. I want to see it. Just never got around to it. The trailer didn't impress me at all, anything like that. But I'll get around to it because I'm rewatching them all. But, you know, we would love to see Round Shot. We got to see the first girl, Marion. Why can't we see him again, right? But, yeah, he's fantastic in this role, and I think he is the best one. And so, like I said, this movie just kind of doesn't know what direction it wants to go to. Does it want to go really dark? Or does it want to be kind of like action-adventure, really light? You got so many contrasts back and forth. So the tone of the movie is kind of hard to gauge. Out of the original 3, it's probably the worst one, in my opinion, of the original 3. But I enjoy watching it. I do like it. But overall, just because of that tone and this, it feels like it's kind of like a mess in some areas, but it's a tightly nice mess of a movie. The whole mining cart scene, I'm going to call it a mining cart scene, still holds up really good in this movie. Really well shot. It holds up to today. It really does feel like they're on those carts zooming through those rails. Duncan having to shoot the table, the signal switches, and all that good stuff. It really still looks pretty realistic. I don't think you could be done. I don't know how they did it back then. You know, today it would be on a stupid green screen. But this movie, however they did it, it really feels 3D. Feels like you're there. You kind of feel like the coolness, the dampness of the area. You know, if you ever been like in a cave, I've never been anything like that, but I've been in caves. You know how it's kind of cool and damp feeling. You kind of can feel that as they're zooming through there. Very well shot. Then at the beginning of the movie, though, the special effects don't really hold up throughout the whole movie. At the beginning of the movie, you know, when they're in the airplane and everybody jumps off, the villains jumps off, takes all the parachutes, and then they have to jump off with the inflatable raft. That scene, it's hit and miss. So when the airplane crashes into the mountain, it dated really bad. I don't know what it looked like. I can't remember what I thought about it when I saw it back in the 80s. But today, it's like you can just tell it's not there. It's not happening. And then the raft going down the mountain, it's hit and miss. When it's doing the wide shots and it going down that way, it looks very good. It looks very realistic. But then when they do the close shots of them, yeah, you can tell, yeah, it's not happening. They're not on that boat. They're not on that raft. They're not going down the mountain. But long as they keep it on the wide shots and you can see it from afar, it looks really good. It looks very convincing. But yeah, once you get there, you can tell they're probably in front of a big screen and things are zooming that way. But you know, movie magic, it doesn't ruin the movie. It just doesn't hold up very well. That's probably the worst part of the movie, I would think, is the raft scene. Just because of that, because how fake it looks. Going down in the pit of lava or whatever that's supposed to be down there, the spirit pit. That still looks pretty good. It's borderline, but but I say it holds up a lot better than the raft scene. Going through here, what else do I like? Let's see. Yeah, just more stuff about how bad Capshaw was. And the only thing she was in there was probably for the sex appeal, not the sex scenes. There's no sex scenes, but the sex appeal. She's pretty, but like I said, I think when people talk about old movies, the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, they're referring to her character, how the girls are always damsels and express. You could probably do without that character. I don't know if she does anything that is good that helps Indiana Jones, except for she's the one who releases the trap that when they're getting ready to get spiked on the head, you know, the room that's kind of collapsing this way, she's there to, you know, release that lever so that they can get out of the trap. Other than that, that's about it. That's one thing about these Indiana Jones movies, by the way, is that while he's doing a lot of the rescuing, sometimes Indiana Jones is the damsel in distress. You know, he's the damsel. So he had that scene where he needed to be rescued, and then later on, like I said earlier in this video, where he has like some kind of mind control thing going on with him. He needs rescuing from that, so Short Round there rescues him. So, you know, he's not always the macho man. He actually needs help with his adventures, which that's one thing I do like about the Indiana Jones movies, is that, you know, every once in a while the hero needs help as well, and he's always got some good guys around him. Another returning theme from this movie, from the first movie, is the strong hitchman dude. You know, in the first one you get the guy in front of the helicopter punching him, can't really get him down because the guy's just too strong. Eventually the propellers of the airplane chops him up. In this movie, you know, the guy gets kind of crushed because he gets caught, some part of his clothing gets caught in the grinder thing that breaks up the stones, and that's how he's able to do him in there. So you get that returning theme. Like I said, this might be the worst of the original 3 movies, but doesn't mean it's a bad movie. I enjoy it. It's actually a pretty good movie. It's just not as good as the other 3, you know. It's worst of being the worst movie of the Indiana Jones original trilogy is that's saying the movie is bad. If it was on TV and nobody saw Indiana Jones, I would definitely say, hey, we got to watch this one. You'll love this movie. That's what I would do, because it's a great movie. Doesn't really hurt the franchise at all. What do you guys think about Temple of Doom? Is it a terrible movie? Is it the best movie? Where do you guys place this movie? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Have a great day, and until next time, bye. Oop, let's go.